Um, Hello, welcome to this week activity. My name is Pigs, and I'll be discussing with Becky how teachers use technology to monitor student behaviors. Some apps that we reviewed, and the first one is Class Dojo. So, Becky, what do you think or what do you think of Class Dojo? How do you think this app works?
Well, I made some research and I actually created an account with Classroom Dojo and I explored the software and I saw how it works. I think it's a really interesting app and it's an online software where a teacher can like open accounts for students and like monitor their behaviors in class. Students can like get points and sometimes they can lose points when they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing at that point in time. And looking at it, I think it's a kind of software that you can kind of like project on the projector screen and have students see themselves and look at what's going on. And the software has this part where you can make sounds. So when a student gets a point, it can make sounds, and when a student loses a point, it reduces the point. So I think it's something that will make the students get to work and behave very well because they want to get more points. And you can also give them gifts on the software if they do very well, or depending on how much points they get. Also, you can set goals for the day on the software, like, okay, today our goal is 50 or 100 for the day or for the period, and anybody who gets the actual points or the required points can be given stickers or some kind of gift.
Okay, as I reviewed the Class Dojo app, I was able to discover that Class Dojo is an app where teacher can create a classroom community where the students, the teacher, and the parents can interact, and it helps to create a positive culture where teachers can encourage students on their behavior and how they can interact with other students. And it's a platform where students can be able to display photos and videos of what they did in class. And the students can be able to use this platform to share videos and pictures of what they're doing in the class. And parents mostly see the activities that students are doing in the class. So I think the app is a very good one. And when I tried to create an account, I like the fact that it showed so many positive behaviors and negative behaviors. So you can use it to monitor the behaviors of students, and students will be able to get points when they have or a negative behavior. And parents will be able to review and see the progress of their kids in school. And one important thing about this Class Dojo is that the app is free. The app is actually free, and you can use it on any device. And also, aspect of it is that you can translate it into any language. So parents can translate it to see whatever they want to see in any language that they understand better. So I think what do you think are the benefits that this Class Dojo can be used for? What benefits do you think it can give to teachers, students, and parents?
I really like the aspect of like adding points and reducing points, and I like the fact that if a student is like getting more points, you can actually type to see why the student is getting more points. Like if a student is getting his planner or writing his homework very quickly or helping someone, you can like add a point to the person. Let's assume John. You can just click and quickly use your iPad and do John is carrying out his usual routine, or Paul is helping someone, and he gets 1 point. So I like the fact that you can add comments so that other students can see that, oh, this student is getting a point because he or she is doing this thing, and this student is, and if a student gets up from their seat to go somewhere else where they are not supposed to be, you can reduce the point saying Sierra, CC got up from her seat, so she loses 1 point. So those are the benefits that I noticed about it. I like the reward system. I like that the students are able to see their performances on the board if you project it. So it's not something that they have to come back to the teacher later and ask, oh wow, or something. And I also like the fact that it's something you can use outside of the classroom. You don't have to be inside the classroom to be able to use it. Even you can use it on any device. You can always, it's not just like a computer thing. You can carry your iPad around or your mobile phone around and use the software. So yeah, I think it's an encouraging way to monitor students' behavior in the classroom. I really like it. What about you? What do you think are the strengths?
Okay, I agree with you, and the tool can. Are you there? Yeah, I agree with you, and I would like to add that the tool can allow teachers to add his or her notification, and then you can be able to create group information, and you can use it for different grades at the same time, and you can add as many students as you want. And you can also be able to add awards to individual students or multiple students. You can use it to grade multiple students or individually. I like different features that the tool has. You can take attendance with it. You can set timers for students. And it enables students to be motivated to know that they have a time frame where in which they are working. And you can randomly pick students. Maybe to answer question, you can use it to randomly pick a student to give a contribution or suggestion based on the lesson that is being taught. And at the end of the activity, the tool allows the teacher to be able to see the records of the students. Maybe you can set it weekly or monthly, and you'll be able to see the percentage of the students' participation and everything that is done in the class. And you can see it generally for all students, and you can also see it for individual students. So I like the fact that at the end of the day or at the end of the week or monthly, able to see the performances of the students. And
yeah, can I
okay,
go on?
Okay, so you can be able to see percentage for each student or for the whole group and the class. So you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to add other things that I like about Classroom Dojo. I like the fact that it encourages positive behaviors, and it encourages behaviors like participation or teamwork. So if a student is actually doing what he or she is supposed to do and you notice it, and let them see that this student is doing this thing really good, it encourages the others. I also like the fact that you can invite parents right away by like using their emails or using their phone numbers, and you can add it to it. I think parents will love to receive reports about what's going on in class while they are home or wherever they are. And another thing I like about it is the avatar, the characters. You can use like alien characters to represent students. I think the student will really like that, and they'll be like, oh, I want to be that, and oh, I want to be that. So you don't have to like use their pictures. I think they'll really like the characters. And also it has a timer. So if you're doing something with the student and you want to like time them, okay, I'm giving you 5 minutes or I'm giving you 10 minutes, you can either do a countdown or I like the timer aspect of it.
Okay. Okay, so I'll also like to add that you can also use the trend spotter to see what each student did for the day, like I said before. So, and the tool allows you to edit. You can always edit. You can remove students, you can add students, you can add information to students, and it really helps in tracking students' behaviors. And like you said, teachers are able to communicate with parents, and parents will be able to see the progress of their child in school, and for motivating students, because when they see others participating and having good grades or good points, they'll be motivated to meet up with those other students. So it's an avenue to motivate students and make them to work hard. So I think students using the class dojo is a very good avenue for teachers, students, and parents to monitor the that are performing in the class. And I would also like to add to what you say, that it increases positive behaviors and it increases the value of the class. You know, when the teacher is using a class dojo to monitor the behaviors of students, the students try to meet up with the expectations of the teacher, and then you see that the class is having a nice, a good value.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah, and so I think it's just is an avenue for teachers to give positive reinforcement. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what do you think can be disadvantages or limitation of this app?
Well, exploring the app, I think it can be kind of distracting to the students. I think it is really distractive, especially if you're projecting it on the board. Some students, once they get distracted, it takes a long time to bring them back on track or to make them focus once again on the learning activity. So I think being distractive is one thing, and the sound it makes can be really annoying to a student who's getting nothing. So if
Okay.
a student is just there and trying to do something and maybe you don't notice very well, though I think the teacher is not very pleased and you think it's not what's adding a point, the student might feel really bored and get really upset about the sound. And also, I think the students who loses points may feel bad or go into a shutdown mode, refusing to do any work. The student might also try to argue his reason of not being on sit, like, oh, Jojo, you're losing a point because you're not sitting on seat. The student might try to argue, oh, I shouldn't lose a point. I think because I needed to sharpen my pencil, that's why I wasn't on my seat. I went to ask Peter
Yeah.
for a sharpener or something. So that may not happen if that app is not there to monitor their behavior. So that part of making students feel bad or making them kind of like confrontational, I think, is a shortcoming to me.
Okay.
And the sound it makes when someone gains or loses a point can be, yeah. So I think it sometimes may make them go off tax, and it may take time for them to come back on track. So I think without it, maybe just talking about the disadvantage, I think without it, the class may run very smoothly because it's just going to be academics and nothing, no distractions at all.
Okay.
What do you think are the shortcomings too?
I agree with you, and I would like to add that since all students' work is displayed and everybody can see performance, it can be humiliating to some students when you display their work publicly. And those of them that have the minus points, they might be ashamed. And you know, shame is not does not help any student at all. So I see it as an avenue where some of the students who are having less points might feel inferior, and I think that's not a good one, because as teachers we don't want to see our students feel less. So one thing I don't like about the app is the fact that it displays everybody's work, so you will be able to see who does what and what they do and their performance. So when students see the fact that they are not meeting up with others, they might feel bad and feel humiliated, and they can be
Yeah,
shy.
yeah.
In the process, they might even cry, and we don't want to do that. So that's one thing I just found out about the app. And I think the limitation that the app has is there's no place for grading students. Maybe the students' work, you have math, and for you to grade, for parents to see, okay, your child had like a 100%, 90%. So the app doesn't have that feature where you can grade, and it also doesn't have a sitting charts where you can put students on sitting arrangement. So let's talk about the other apps. Teacher Kit. What do you think about it?
The I kind of really like Teacher Kit. Again, it's another app or software that can help you manage students' behavior in the classroom. I like the fact that you can add a whole class and add students. And I like that you can like use your iPad or use your it doesn't have to be just your computer. You can use iPad. It's user friendly. It's very easy to use. It's really easy. Once you open, when I went to the website and I opened it, it was really quick and very easy to do. And you can create dates and have a calendar on it. I don't think you can do that on Class Dojo. I didn't see that, but you can like create a calendar and every day just go into the calendar for the day and you can make plans. Also, you can like make attendance. You can mark students present, you can mark them absent. There's also provision for you to mark them tardy if they're late or something. Behavior, positive or negative, you can add grades. I don't think you can do on Class Dojo. And to show for the positive and negative behaviors, unlike the Classroom Dojo, you have to like write why the student is having a point or why the student is losing a point. If you don't write it, then it won't tell you why, it won't show you why. But for Teacher Kit, there are reasons. They have like good progress, participating, homework on time. So if someone is getting a point rather than being in class and typing, oh, CC is helping someone, rather than adding a point and type it, helping others, you can just quickly go on good progress. Click it and it appears, or you can quickly go on homework on time. You just click it and it shows. Except if there's something you want to talk about the student that's not on your list, then you'll have to type it. So I like this one. I like the positive items that are listed. I didn't really see things that are negative. It's just good progress, participating, homework on time. I really didn't see anything that negative on the list. I like the positive items listed. So you can just like choose what the student is doing falls under. Yeah, so those are the strengths, and I think I like this one very much. What do you think about the app? What are the strengths?
Okay, just like the Class Dojo, the Teachers Kit, it is a very interesting app also. So teachers can use it to add students, parents, and it shows different grade. You can add students from different grades, and it allows you to take attendance, like you said. And you can also add behaviors of students, so students are aware of how they're behaving. And another point that I like about it is that you can use it to grade students. It has a grade book where you can grade the students' work. So some of the top features that I found in Teachers Kit is that it has a log student attendance. So you can use it to check attendance, match students if they're present, absent, or tardy, like you said. And you can use it to add behaviors of students and make sure you can actually make notes for students like did a nice job, keep it up, and all those things. You can actually type behavior notes for students. And you can also use it to record student grades, like I said, and create student level reporting. So you'll be able to put students on the level and give report about what they're doing, like if they're on grade level. And then you can create and manipulate sitting charts. So you can put sitting charts for you can use it for sitting charts for the students, and you can email the entire class and parents. And one thing I like about it is that and time of compiling grades, as the app allows them to put in their grade maybe immediately the class is finished, and teacher can be able to add in the grades of the students. That's one thing I like about it. Do you think it has any limitations?
Yeah, there are some shortcomings that I noticed. Very nice to me. I don't like it. I think it's a little bit scary for students, depending on the grade level, but I think it's a little bit scary, the avatars. Unlike the Classroom Dojo one, it looks really interesting and colorful and all of that. But this one is kind of scary to me. And I think it's time consuming. I think it will take some time, some learning time to do that. To like set up the app and monitor students' behaviors with it. It's just easy to walk around the room saying, "Oh, well done, Jenny, you're doing a good job." And "Oh, good job, thanks for submitting your homework on time." I think other students will want to like do things that are required of them just to get your praise rather than going all the way to use an online software thing. Yeah, so those I think are the shortcomings of TeacherKit. But apart from that, I really like it.
Okay. To me, I think the only thing I
What do you think are the shortcomings?
Yeah, to me, the only thing I didn't see there is timer. Unlike on the Class Dojo, there's a timer where teacher can use to time students, you understand,
Are you there?
to motivate. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So I was saying that one thing I found that is not in TeacherKit is that there's no timer. Unlike the Class Dojo where there's a timer where the teacher can use it to monitor time that students are on a task. So the Class Dojo has a timer which can be used to motivate students, make them to be on track, to know them, to let them know they are working on a time frame. And why in the TeacherKit I didn't find that at all. That's the only thing I think about TeacherKit that I didn't quite like about it, the fact that it doesn't have a timer.
Okay.
So the third tool.
Apparently there isn't so much shortcomings that were found, right?
Yeah. So the Tool Noise Pro. Okay, on the Tool Noise Pro is a tool that well, one thing about the tool is that it just helps teachers to control the class noise engaging way. It's just it's designed to assist teachers to keep control of general noise level in a classroom using a visual stimulus. So, and as the noise level of the class increases, how it works is that as the noise level of the class increases beyond an acceptable level, the noise level meter will indicate the level of the noise and the background graph with an app of the noise level. So students will know when they are on red zone and know that they have gone to of the expected noise in the class. So apparently the app is for controlling noise in the class. What do you think?
I think I like the app, and the things I like about it mostly are the themes. I really like the themes. They are all different kind of themes, depending on what grade level you're teaching. No matter what grade level you're teaching, there are ones that are really childish for like kindergarten or lower. and there are some that are appropriate for like with 4 and 5. They're just all different things depending on what grade level you're teaching. So I really like that because you can change it. I like the fact that it manages the noise, and it's also something that is not it's not like specific. You can change the range. So if for example, when I was exploring the app, if students are discussing and you don't want them to talk up to a certain level, you don't want them to be that loud up to a certain level, you can send it, you can like set it so that if they're talking like you and I are talking, the alarm wouldn't blow off. And you can set it in a way that if you don't want them to talk at all, even a small sound like what I'm saying may make the alarm blow off. So I like that you can set it depending on what lesson you're doing. If it's independent work and you don't want any talking at all, you can set it in a way that even a whisper can make it go off. And if it's a classroom discussion and you don't want them to scream like I'm doing right now, you can make the alarm go off for that. So that's one thing that I really like about it. It works for all. I think it will work for all grade level. And I think it's a good thing to manage the classroom noise. I think it's fun. It's a fun way to manage classroom. If the alarm goes off, then the students know that, oh yeah, they are being loud. You don't have to tell them, oh, you guys are being loud, and no, we're not being loud, or things like that. The app or the software wouldn't lie. It's been set to blow off if you're talking loud to a certain level. So yeah, those are the things I like about the app.
Okay. I agree with what you said. That how the app works. When I was I saw that you can actually use it for special needs kids who have trouble with volume control. You understand? So it helps to do with yelling and crying meltdown. So when frustration and upset comes in, the app helps to give a visual impulse, as in to reduce impulsive yelling. Do you understand? So I think the student with special needs, student that they cannot stay without yelling or without screaming, you can actually use this app to bring them down, and is a fun app. And sometimes as teacher, it is not always easy to manage the noise of the class. So you realize that at the point you're trying to scream too hard for students to hear you and you're trying to get their attention. So a TwoNoise Pro is used when you really want to get the attention of your students. So the app has colorful and fun graphs, like you said, and with a digital noise meter, it will be able to let students and teachers to know when the noise level has exceeded the acceptable range. So students are able and they are aware when they hear the sound, they'll be able to know that, okay, we've exceeded the noise level and we'll have to turn down. One thing we do in our class is most times when students are working, we sometimes put the music on a very low key and try to tell the student that we want to be hearing the song even as low as it is. And if we cannot hear the song, that means they are talking too loud. So that's another way that we use in the class to control the noise level of the class. So I think this app is so important to teachers because controlling students' noise can be so frustrating sometimes. You're talking and someone is talking somewhere else and they're not listening, not paying attention. I don't think any teacher feels good about that. So I like the fact that the app can be used to manage noise level in the class. Do you think it has any limitation?
Of course, for disadvantages, I think there are a few disadvantages because Reading about this app, exploring the app makes me think about my students. Depending on their grade level, though, I think grade fours or grade fives or grade threes and grade twos will use it well, and they wouldn't want the alarm to go off because they wouldn't want you to go, oh no, you're too loud than you're supposed to be. But thinking about like kindergartners or high schoolers, I think some students may like blow the alarm off just to make fun or just to be silly or something. So you wouldn't like have to set the alarm so many times. Oh no, you just blew it off. And they laugh about it and they don't take it seriously. But personally, I think I would really like to try this app. Like if I see the students going silly or I see it not working, I'll just put it away and try to control the noise by myself and see what I can do. But if they accept it and they're working with it and they don't let it blow off often, or if I see that they're not blowing it off on purpose, I really would keep it and I would like to use it. Also, another disadvantage I see is it requires extra classroom management. I mean, managing the classroom alone by itself is it's a very important part of being a teacher. You have to like make sure that you manage the classroom very well and control the noise and manage the behavior and everything. So this is another software or another tool that needs management by itself. So in all, it's like you're managing more than just your classroom. You're managing your classroom and you're managing the software. So I feel like it's giving the teacher extra responsibility. It's like adding more to what you already have, in my opinion. So yeah, because you're watching the students do their work, you're watching that everybody is doing okay, and you're watching out for the alarm when it blows off so that you can set it again, or tell the students that, look, you've just made the alarm blow off, now I'm resetting it and things like that. And I also think it's time consuming. If you're going to set it and blow it off and you tell them and then you set it again. Yeah, those I think are the disadvantages of the app. But other than that, I think it's a really great app and I really want to try it and see if it works for my students.
Okay, I agree with what you said. And one thing about the app, when I was researching on it, I saw that I think it has some limitations. It's only available in iPad, and you can find it on all other devices. And one thing about and then one thing about it is limited to just one particular thing. You only use it to control the noise level of students. You can't use it to do other things. You cannot grade students on it. You cannot, unlike the Class Dojo where you have so many features. So for the two, that's the one limitation on the program. I think it's just about it. It just concised thing, and you can use it to monitor other things. You can use it to keep attendance, like the teacher's kits. You can use it to grade students. You can use it to really give comments to students. You can just use it only to control the noise level. And as teachers, in as much as we are controlling the noise level of students, we are also trying to balance every other aspect of the students. Yeah. I think the apps are very, very interesting to use, and I can't wait to explore them when we come back from the summer break for my fourth graders. What do you think?
I like all the apps, and all three apps, I think one similarity among all three of them is that they are mobile. They are like current use of technology. It's use of technology. It's not, you don't have to like talk all the time or days you're using technology to do the talking. All of them are user friendly. They're very easy to use. I mean, not that easy, but I mean, it gives you like leads once you open the softwares. And I think they all of them are used to monitor students' behavior in some way, either
Yeah.
making them do some work or controlling the noise or giving them grades or encouraging their positive behaviors or losing points because of negative behaviors. All of them helps to manage the classroom in some way. Yeah, those are the similarities. Also, all of them are mobile. I don't think there's anyone you can use on a phone or on a laptop or something. I don't know if you can use Too Noisy on a laptop because from everything I watched, I saw iPads searching it and everything on
Yeah.
it. So I'm not really sure if you can use a computer, but all of them are mobile and many kids or almost every teacher possesses an iPad right now. So
Mm.
yeah, I like them. They're mobile, they're user friendly. They are free too, all of them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I like the fact they are free for teachers. Yeah. So
you don't have to pay to try them out. And I mean, if Too Noisy wasn't free, I wouldn't want to put my money on it because if it doesn't work with my kids, I'll be really sad that I've wasted my money. So I like the fact that all of them are free and yeah.
But there's an aspect about True Noise Pro that you have to pay for. I was researching it, so but although it's just a little token to pay for, they're literally free. So it's a very good avenue where teachers can explore and be able to monitor and manage the behaviors of students. They all help in tracking the behaviors of, sometimes you might not really have students at the same time, you understand, but using these apps, you can be able to track who is doing what and who is not doing well, the class activity. Like the class dojo, you see that when a student doesn't turn in work, you can be able to see which student is not turning in work and is consistently not turning in work. You'll be able to see the progress of students and the fact that the parents are also involved and they can be able to see and assess the progress of their children. I think the apps are they're so good. They're so good, and I can't wait to start using them. Actually, so I think it was a wonderful one, and
What do you think are the
nice having
differences?
the differences. Okay, to me, like I said, the differences are just in the features. Some of them have a feature that the others, as in the other, doesn't have. You understand? Like in the class dojo, the features that I found is that you can use it to take attendance. You can use it to be able to give positive or negative status to students, and student can change pictures. Is an avenue where student can use the avatars as into. It's just like students can actually work on it. They can change their status. They can add something. They can add anything. And for the teachers' kids, I like the fact that um, you can use it to take grades of students. Grading students is one thing that is, I don't know how to put it, but teachers find it taxing to grade. So if you can use the teachers kit to do your grading once and for all, I think it's a very good platform, and I can't wait to start using them.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
so
yeah.
that's our comparison. What about the differences? Well, from talking about all different softwares and all different apps, we already see that they are all different in their own ways. All of them have one particular area that they're good
Yeah,
at. So,
they're unique. They're
like the Too
unique.
Noisy for just monitoring the noise in the class and putting it at the level that you want their voices to be. Classroom dojo is to check attendance, check their behavior, who is doing what they are supposed to be doing, who is doing what they are not supposed to be doing.
Take care. Oh, I think I lost Becky. Okay, I can see you.
Something happened.
Okay, it's okay, but we're still there.
Yeah.
So, but I think at the end, they all boil down to monitoring student behaviors. So that is the most important thing, that you can use any of them. Either they are for specific reasons, but at the end, you're trying to monitor and track student behavior.
Yeah. So is that all we're supposed to talk about?
Be aware of and should think about a consistent way of managing the class so that students are on track and they're not distracted. So I think it's a nice one.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh, okay. So thank you for sharing with me in this activity, and I look forward to sharing other things and other views in future about apps that we can use. And feel free to
Yeah, I think
always,
me too.
yeah.
I think that's all
Okay.
we're supposed to talk about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
See you
See you.
tomorrow.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.